Yes, people, welcome back to FPL Hive. International break is over, but game week 8 is coming quick. So who should you sell? Who should you wait? And who should you hold? Well, we're going to tell you now on FPL Hive. Make sure you like, subscribe, and get your comments in. Roll the tapes.
So, the most sold player this week for game week 8 is Mo Salah. I'll be honest, Ty, I'm a bit shocked. What would you do if you own Salah?
If I owned him, I'd hold him. I would. Do you know what it is? Salah's been the worst person or version of himself that he could possibly be. He's now had the international break. He's had time to reset. Liverpool have had time to try and overcome mentally this poor form. And when you look at it now, he loves the Man United fixture. I'm a United fan, if people didn't know. And he loves that fixture. He always gets points. You then got Brentford away, where you know you're going to get opportunities. You've got Villa at home, who have been struggling but finding a bit of form lately. If he needed any fixtures to try and find some confidence and also be a great differential for people, it's these next 2 weeks at least. I think you'd be silly to sell him now. I think you should have sold him a few weeks ago if you were going to, and then bit the bullet and rode out the wave. But now, dangerous time to sell, because you'd sell him and you'll probably go and get you the points that you needed to climb your mini league. I'm going to say hold.
You know what? Salah's an interesting one, because I'm not too sure if you watched my video on Mo Salah this week. Salah's data is the worst it's ever been in his career, kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's like shot numbers, literally half what they were last year. XG, expected assists, everything is down by a lot. But at the same time, there was a part of me that I rate Arne Slot so highly in it. I think last season he showed great adaptability to get the best out of his players. Clearly, he's struggling with, let's say, the dynamic of all the new signings currently.
Yep.
I still have enough faith that Arne Slot can obviously adapt to the players again and get the best out of Mo Salah. And 100%. The thing is, a lot of people now probably don't have Liverpool attackers. The next game is Manchester United, like you said. That's a brilliant fixture. Then after that, they have Brentford away, Aston Villa at home. The next 3 fixtures are not too bad from a Liverpool point of view. I'll be honest. I agree with you, Holt. I don't even think he's a bad buy.
I hear it.
As crazy as it sounds.
No, I get you. As crazy as it sounds, I hear the logic. If I was going to get Salah at any point this season, remember, people, if you've been following on my team, which is in the top, 250K, I haven't had Salah all season. But if I was going to make a move for Salah, the timing would be around now. So let us know in the comments what you're going to do. I'm going to say, Salah owners, hold fire. So the next player we're talking about is Chris Wood. Nottingham Forest, not on the radar at all so far this Premier League season. Is he going to be part of turning it around, or is it time to sell, Baines?
I'll be honest, we're seeing what's happening at Nottingham Forest. Ange might not even be here by the time the next international break in November comes. And I said this with Chris Wood as well. I feel like Igor Jesus is like knocking on the door for a start.
Yeah.
He's obviously got a couple goals in like Europe, for example, the Carabao Cup games. I feel like it's only a matter of time. His minutes are not secure. Nottingham Forest don't look good. Easy sell.
So now we're talking about the guy that's in every single video, every week, at least one of them, Tijani Reijenders. Man City have got Everton at home, which, Everton don't concede a lot of goals. But then after that, the fixtures do change a little bit with Bournemouth, Villa, Liverpool, Newcastle's. Is it time to sell Reijenders?
That is a very, very hard set of fixtures. But at the same time, the fixture that is right in front of him is Everton at home. You probably say wait for one more week. And I said this before. I'm not too sure if you realised that. Over the last 2 games, Reijenders has got 75 minutes against Brentford. Against Burnley, he got 82. Before that, in the opening 5 games, he got 90 minutes in each of them. His minutes have slowly been starting to get reduced. And like you said before, City are slowly starting to get people back with the likes of Marmoush, Cherky. I'm not saying Reijenders is going to be completely out the side. But if his minutes are going to be reduced, and let's say he hasn't really got the goal
positional playing deeper.
Exactly. I feel like that could be something where people might just want to say, you know what, Reijenders, thank you for the points earlier on in the season.
Yeah.
Let's move him on now.
Yeah. Cheap and cheerful, done his job, but I agree with you. I'm going to go wait.
So the next player I feel like is such a controversial player when it comes to FPL, and that is Bruno Fernandes. Ty, a lot of people are Bruno Fernandes, especially those that wildcarded in game week 6, and some people are looking to take him out. What would you do?
Liverpool away, Brighton at home, Forest away. He could get points in all of those games, and he could also blank in all of those games. Who's going to be brave? Who's going to hold him? I would say wait. I think the Brighton game, he will get opportunities at home. I think Liverpool at the moment, with the way they've been playing, let's not look at Liverpool for what they were last season. Let's look at them this season. They've been giving away big chances. They've not been looking assured in midfield. They've been a team that can be got at in transition. I think Bruno is one of them players that he's also on free kicks. He's also on penalties. He can always give you something throughout 90 minutes. So I think right now, while Man United have some big players coming back and getting getting a bit of form, winning 3 games at home in a row, I think it's time to wait with Bruno Fernandes. I say you go to Liverpool game, you go to Brighton game, and then you can assess, see what Nottingham Forest situation's like. Is it still Ange? Is it a new manager? I think you can wait with Bruno Fernandes because I think one thing with him, Everton at home after that and Tottenham away, there are fixtures in there that they sound a bit tricky on paper, but there are games in there that will give you opportunities, that will give you chances. And Bruno will be on some of them.
I think this is the interesting one. So I'll be honest, I feel like with Bruno, if you're going to sell him, it has to be this week before the Liverpool game, innit? Because obviously Liverpool is still one of the tougher sides to face. But at the same time, there's a part of me that thinks regarding this Liverpool game, that game from a Manchester United point of view is going to be played on the transition. Bruno Fernandes, we know, is, let's say, on the transition. We know he can pick up passes. United are good on the transition with the likes of Cunha and Buemo, Sesko now even up top. But at the same time, Ty, I still think Bruno Fernandes for this week has to be a sell. I think Liverpool, Brighton are 2 tough games.
So if there are places out there, if we're telling the FPL Hive community to sell, is sell for who? To give people someone that they can look at selling and buying in for 3 weeks at least, because you don't want to sell for 1 game week. You sell for the long. I sell for the long term. I don't sell for 1 week.
I think one of my favorite midfielders right now in FPL is Enzo Fernandez to bring in, especially with Cole Palmer.
So you'd advise Bruno to Enzo.
Yeah, and then obviously you can rejig funds around. And listen, some people might not even have Saka if they haven't tripled up on Arsenal. So that could be a good option as well. Saka's 9.9, I think. Bruno's obviously 9 million. Can you get to Saka? Maybe.
There we go. We'll leave it with the public. Forest away for Chelsea, Fulham away for Arsenal, Liverpool away for Fernandes. Take your pick.
Now the next player is our first defender of this video, Van de Ven. His ownership is actually crazy high, Ty, if you don't know it. 33.8%. But people are obviously selling him now. What do you think of that?
I wouldn't want to sell yet because personally I've got Nottingham Forest assets I want to get rid of. So I think there's other priorities that people can look at in their team that they can get rid of. You've got Tottenham playing Aston Villa at home on the weekend. Villa could score, yes, but also Villa could blank. You got then Everton after that. Everton is a tricky one. Away from home, Sunday 4:30. I do think also Everton scoring that. So, if you've got a team that's built already and you've got a transfer you're willing to make and the rest of the team set, I would advise you to sell Van de Ven. If you've got other areas in your team that you can improve on, then I think you can keep Van de Ven for 2 weeks. So I'm stuck in between wait and sell. It all depends on people's teams. So right now I'm keeping Van de Ven because I have other areas that I want to improve on.
But I think as a standalone asset, you probably have to say wait because I'm not too sure if you've seen it. I think Watkins came back from the England cap early.
He'll play.
I think he will play, but let's just say there's certain doubts of Watkins' minutes. That makes Aston Villa a worse side. And even if he still does play, Aston Villa haven't really been firing from an offensive point of view. I wouldn't mind playing Van de Ven if I haven't.
Yeah. And now we'll look at another Liverpool attacker, Hugo Ekitike. Is he the same as Reijenders? You get on the price early at the start of the season, but you now look to shift?
Ty, I think that's spot on. Thank you for the memories, but it's time to go. As Claude liked to say, listen, it has to be a sell. With Ekitike, I think the game that he will play over the next couple of games will be that Frankfurt game in the Champions League, innit? In my eyes, his former club. I feel like Isak will definitely get the Manchester United game and then the next Premier League game after that. I feel like that's when Ekitike will get minutes in the Champions League. Listen, Ekitike will still come on against Manchester United. He'll probably still get 20 to 30 minutes, but at the same time, he costs a lot. You're not buying a person for 20 to 30 minutes. Just sell him now. And the next player, I think this is a very, very controversial sell. And that is Victor Gyökeres. What do you think?
Controversial sell? I'm telling you not to hold. All day, every day of the week, Victor Gyökeres hold. Fulham away, Palace at home, Burnley away. For them 3 fixtures, he is scoring in maybe 1 or 2 of them. And in them games, he could score a double. I'm sorry, I know Crystal Palace are solid defensively, but I think Arsenal beat them at home. I think Fulham are still vulnerable at the back at times. I think there will be maybe 2 goals for Arsenal in that game. And I think Burnley, away from home. I know Burnley will sit back and sit deep, but I think Arsenal will unpick the lock quicker than Liverpool did. So I'm going to say hold. At the end of the day, he's guaranteed minutes. He's starting at the moment. You've got Saka coming back from injury. You've got Odegaard who's potentially out, but they've got enough creativity with Eze in there. You've got Martinelli and Trossard on the left that give them options. And Arsenal was solid defensively. I think Gyökeres, there are so many other things you can do in your FPL team before taking out Gyökeres. So easy for me, hold.
See, I'm not too sure, I know this might be a controversial one, but I said this before with Victor Gyökeres on one of the previous videos. I feel like when we watched Victor Gyökeres for Sporting, there's a certain type of goal that we know he will score kind of thing, innit? On the transition, balls down the channel, we know Victor Gyökeres thrives in that. Whereas those games where teams sit back, he has to, let's say, create a bit more like space to get a shot off. I feel like those sort of games, we haven't necessarily seen Victor Gyökeres thriving so far, if that makes sense. Okay. So if we're looking at it so far, Leeds, for example, he got 2 goals. One of them was a penalty. Nottingham Forest, the first game under Ange, he got a goal. The rest of the games, I feel like he's kind of struggled in those, like a bit more defensive.
I think he's getting better though. I think he's getting better and better the more he plays. He's getting used to the Premier League. He's getting used to playing with Arsenal. He's a handful, even though he's not scoring. He's getting himself about. The goals are coming. Look, let us know in the comments, people. This is why we do this content, because we're not here to be, let me hear what Bain says and I'm going to agree with him. No, I'm going hold. You are going.
You know what I'll do? I'll probably say wait.
Cool.
You know why?
Wait,
just quickly. Arsenal in game week 10 have Burnley. Game week 11 they have Sunderland. Those are the 2 best fixtures in the next 4, innit?
Yeah.
If Victor Gyökeres doesn't do well against Fulham, doesn't do well against Crystal Palace, then I think it might be worth pivoting your Arsenal options to really, really target the Burnley Sunderland games.
Yeah, but then you'd want Gyökeres for them 2 games, because if you take him out, you'd be like, what if he does go and score? So he's definitely a wait for 4 weeks.
But what about if he doesn't do well in the next 2? Then you might think Saka might be... No, but what about if Saka's doing better in the next 2 and you think, okay, let me pivot towards Saka, because Saka could go big in those game week 10 and game week 11?
The way I play, I don't like moving an asset from the same club to a different player at that same club with I'm keeping. I hold. I stand firm, and there's a reason why my ranking is where it is, FPL Hive community. João Pedro Baines. Chelsea's fixtures looking like they're turning for the better. Lavia coming back into the fold. Will Enzo go further forward? João Pedro getting more opportunities. Would you advise to sell, wait, or hold the Brazilian?
Honestly, I cannot believe he's the second most sold player in game week 8. Like, generally, what are you guys doing? Make sure you guys subscribe to FPL Hive, because you clearly need some help. In my eyes, João Pedro is arguably, bar Erling Haaland, the best forward to buy this week. That's how highly I think Chelsea, and let's say the forward. But let me say this. I don't rate forward right now in FPL bar Erling Haaland, didn't it? But João Pedro is the best at the bunch, if that makes sense. And we know with João Pedro, he didn't travel with Brazil because he had that little niggle. That means he's fully rested for during the international break. Nottingham Forest away. Listen, with how bad Nottingham Forest are under Ange, why are you selling him?
So, Baines, we've obviously got Richarlison in here. This is a question that you've been asked on the channel, and I think it's only right that you now answer it. So if you're watching, if you're listening, like the video. Baines, take it away, Richarlison.
See, the problem with Richarlison is I feel like he's still comfortably Spurs' #1 striker, innit? But he still gets that odd rotation here and there. Against Leeds, I'll be honest, I was shocked to see him on the bench. Matthias Tell played up top, and he obviously done very well in terms of he got himself a goal. Even during the international break for France's under-21s, I think it is, Matthias Tell scored a couple goals. Listen, Richarlison is #1. But the constant worry about Matthias Tell getting minutes, we still got Cole Muani in the picture as well. Eventually, he'll get minutes. Listen, just sell him now kind of thing, innit?
So the next one we're looking at is Virgil van Dijk. Now, this for me out of the whole video is the most interesting one, because I can understand if people are waiting, but I can understand if people are selling. You look at Chelsea's fixtures, you look at Arsenal's fixtures, and you're thinking, for the value, for the price, I can make an easy shift to a Cucurella, a Gabriel, a Timber. And when you look over the next 5-6 weeks, which is what I try and do transfers for, are you going to get more upside from an Arsenal or Chelsea defender than keeping Van Dijk? Where's your head at, Baines?
I think this is a very, very interesting one, because My thing with Van Dijk, and this is where I think it gives him, like, let's say, some positive compared to the other 6 million plus defenders, is he's probably the best at for DEFCON out of any single one of them. Like, he's hit DEFCON, I think, 4 times so far this season, which is not too bad. And obviously, we know Liverpool defensively are a bit weak. Van Dijk loves to get those clearances, which obviously helps for DEFCON. But at the same time, we can argue the fixtures are not bad from an offensive point of view, but I feel like from a defensive point of view, Liverpool will concede against Manchester United. Brentford, we know with Thiago, Dangotara, they can cause problems.
By the way, I don't know if it adds salt in it. It's a Saturday 8 o'clock game, that.
Yeah, listen. Aston Villa, I'll be honest, I don't know what Aston Villa are going to turn up. Like, I thought that was too hard to call. But then after that, Manchester City, we know, listen, City will score. I feel like when you really want Van Dijk for is after game 12. Liverpool, Nottingham Forest, West Ham, Sunderland, Leeds.
Yeah.
I feel like for now, I would pivot towards a different defender, especially for that price.
I would agree. I think, for the value that you have, if it was a 4 million or 4.5, I'd say hold because, the potential in the DEFCON. But I just think over the next 4 or 5 weeks, you can definitely accumulate more points going to a different option and keeping Van Dijk. So we've decided, guys, he's a sell. So there we go, people. There is your sell, wait, and hold for game week 8. Let us know in the comments if you've got any questions that you want answering for any different players. But also, make sure you like this video, subscribe, and we'll see you soon on FPL Hive.